people tend to interpret the term financial freedom in different ways. For some, it is about not having to work. For others, it means no debt. For someone else, it is about being rich, while some others look at it as a path to retirement. So everyone has a perspective, and so do we. And in this video, we shall understand what financial freedom is, and more importantly, look at the 9 steps that one needs to take to achieve it. Let's begin. Ironically, financial freedom is about control over one's finances. And one of the better ways of defining it is to have enough residual income that allows you to live the life you want without any worries on how you'll pay your bills or manage a sudden expense. In other words, financial freedom is not always about being rich and having tons of money, but instead, it's more about having control over one's financial present and one's financial future. In fact, our research shows there are 8 levels of financial freedom, starting from someone not having to live paycheck to paycheck, which is level 1, and to level 8, where a person has more money than what he or she needs in this lifetime. Now, we won't go into all these 8 levels, but there are a few levels that do deserve a mention. For instance, the first level is where you are not living paycheck to paycheck. It is a very interesting level because living under tight financial conditions need not be limited to the working poor and can occur at all levels of income, including the super rich. Another noteworthy level is level 4, that is the freedom of time. It's something many people aspire for, and freedom of time happens when your cash flows are sorted such that it allows you to leave your job to follow your passions without going broke in the process. Level 5 is also particularly interesting and can be crudely expressed as the FIRE movement. FIRE is an abbreviation for Financial Independence Retire Early, and is a lifestyle that is becoming popular in the West with people in their 20s and early 30s. The concept of FIRE is around frugality, with participants intentionally maximizing their savings rates by finding ways to increase their income or lowering their expenses. The idea here is to save 50 to 75% of one's income, which is then used to accumulate assets, which then help you generate enough passive income to provide for retirement expenses. So these are the 8 levels of financial freedom, and one can pick their ideal one depending on their current situation and lifestyle. Now, the quest for financial freedom can be broken down into 9 essential steps. Let's start with step 1. The first marker on the path to financial freedom starts with knowing where you are presently. This includes having a clear idea of how much debt you have, your accumulated savings, monthly expenses, money in your EPF and PPF accounts, your salary, your taxes, dividend income, ESOPs. In other words, you need to know your personal financial statement with a fairly accurate knowledge of your income, expenses, assets, and liabilities. Once you have these numbers, we move to step 2 of your financial freedom journey, and that is writing down your goals. Why do you need money? Is it to get rid of an education loan, or are you trying to start a business, or perhaps you need money for traveling or a wedding or kids' tuition or retirement? What I mean is, money is merely a means to achieve a goal. But until you write down your goals, your money will be money, but money without a purpose. So take a piece of paper and write down your top 5 goals that you would like to achieve over the next 1, 5, 10 or 20 years. Do ensure that these goals follow the SMART methodology, which means all goals written on that piece of paper are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. The next important step towards financial freedom is tracking your spending. You can do this in many ways, like using a notebook or perhaps using an Excel spreadsheet. But one of the best money trackers out there happens to be available right here on the ETMONEY app, which automatically tracks expenses and categorizes them into different buckets like travel, shopping, eating out, etc. This tracking of expenses is an important step as it makes you more accountable and also reveals many needless expenditures that one makes merely on account of an impulse purchase. Remember, an impulse buy is about losing control, which is not what financial freedom is all about. So stay in control by religiously tracking your spending. Pay yourself first means putting a specific amount of money in your savings or investment account before paying for anything else like bills, discretionary expenses, rent, etc. This one act of paying yourself first has helped many people come closer to financial freedom, and the reason why this works is because it forces us to explore alternatives. For instance, if what remains as allowable expenses is not enough for you, then you would be forced to take some additional action. This can mean reducing your current expenses by making small tweaks in your lifestyle, or can also mean picking up a side hustle in order to supplement your current income. Either way, by paying yourself first, you guarantee that you're always putting money aside to invest in yourself and your financial future. Money saved is money earned. But it's not an equal equation wherein 1 rupee saved is 1 rupee earned. And that's because when you invest that 1 rupee, you end up earning a lot more than just a rupee. Now, spending less does not mean compromising on your existing lifestyle or living a bare bones life. On the contrary, financial freedom is more about smart spending, which can be done in many creative ways. Some of the common techniques include learning to make delicious food at home, thereby reducing your eating out expenses, or setting up auto debit so that you don't pay any late fees on your credit cards, or the mere postponement of a non-essential item by a week or two can go a long way in reducing impulse purchases, which then moves you closer to financial freedom. Paying off a big debt supports financial freedom in more ways than one. After all, you have more future cash flow to work with, your credit is strong, but most importantly, closing a loan lifts a massive weight off your shoulders. There are two main methods of paying off debt. The first one is the snowball method, where you pay off the smallest debt first. So basically get one tick mark in your checklist and then you move on to the bigger debts. And the second method of paying off debt is the avalanche approach, where you first pay off the debt with the highest interest rate and then move on to the lower ones. Both these methods work efficiently, and if you have a pile of debt, you need to decide what works best for you. But there's no hiding the fact that getting rid of debt is one of the most crucial factors in achieving financial freedom. Increasing one's income while keeping the spending levels constant or in check is one of the fastest ways to achieve financial freedom. This requires you to continuously work on advancing your career or your business. For instance, your career and therefore your income can go on the ascendancy faster with you learning new and valuable skills and increasing your value to your employer. If you are self-employed, it means working on growth strategies to keep your business moving on to the next level. So if you have been leaving your career or your business, in other words, income advancement to chance, then probably now is a good time to take stock of how to accelerate the process, which in turn will increase your income levels and take you closer to financial freedom. For the majority of people who are serious about financial freedom, a 9-to-5 job may not be sufficient. In other words, one might need to look beyond a job for building income. In fact, some financial experts encourage people to discover as many as 5 streams of income. So if you have a 9-to-5 job, then congratulations. You have one stream of income and have to now identify 4 more. Additional income can come in 2 ways. The first approach is active income, that is, you trade your time for money. And the other approach to building a second income is to do it passively, where you do the work once and the money keeps on coming on an automated manner. If you take the first approach, that is trading your time for money, then you're limited by the hours in a day, which cannot go over 24 in any circumstance. However, active income can get you off the ground immediately with side jobs like becoming a freelance writer, driving an Uber, designing logos for Fiverr.com, etc. On the passive income front, the typical activities that generate money for you will include selling digital content like ebooks and courses, becoming an affiliate marketer, investing in stocks, etc. So see what works best for you and take those small steps towards starting a second income. The ninth and the most future-looking step to attaining financial freedom is investing. Now on this YouTube channel, we have covered a lot on how to invest, how to approach investing, different strategies, etc. So to recap what investing for financial freedom will entail, here are the major tasks one needs to carry on. 1. Invest as much as possible and as early as possible, therefore allowing the power of compounding to assist you. Step 2. Increase investments each year at a percentage higher than your increase in income. Number 3. Achieve an asset allocation of 50 to 60% in equities as quickly as possible. In fact, as a thumb rule, keep a 60-40 allocation between equity and non-equity assets, but feel free to change that ratio depending on your risk tolerance. Point 4. Preferably set up your investments in an automated mode using SIPs and don't worry about timing the market. And finally, point 5. Review your portfolio once a year and don't forget to rebalance your portfolio. More specifics on each of these points is available on the many videos on the ETMONEY YouTube channel, and we attach the links in the description of this video. These 9 steps we have just listed have different degrees of complexity, and you might see some tasks come very naturally to you while some others might require a lot more work. For instance, a number of people find tracking expenses, spending less and investing a lot easier than, say, creating an additional source of income. It's a decision you will have to make, and our suggestion is that one should try everything. So try building that second income or seek your superior's advice on a list of skills that your company will value the most. I have personally come across dozens of people who have completely changed their lives by doing the tough work first, and I wish the same for you. Thank you for taking some time and watching this video, and I look forward to catching up with you next week with another insightful video. Until then.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.